Alright, so for my own sake and to help you guys out, I'm going to do this as scientifically as possible. I'm going to take an area that gets the same exact amount of daylight each day, and I am going to mark it off and treat each section of that in a different way, using a different method of weed control. Ohio Farmhouse. I'm Jenna. If you're anything like me, weeds are just taking over your life. I have tried to stay on top of it. Everything is exploding and growing really quickly, but that includes my weeds, and I am going to put to the test today several different methods of killing weeds and decide which method is the most effective and what's going to work the best.
So you're in a hurry. Well, you better calm down. We're all friends around you, just join the fun. 'Cause if you're in a hurry, you're missing the point. Should enjoy the fruits of life instead of chasing coins.
Alright, so I have a few different methods, and now I have tried all of them, and I'm not really convinced that one works better than the others, so I'm going to put them all to the test in the same exact area. I'm going to map it out and kind of tape off different areas so I know exactly where I've sprayed different solutions. One of those things is going to be with a blowtorch. I've got a big torch that we burn weeds with sometimes, so that's going to be one of them. So I have the typical solution of vinegar that you're going to find the recipes for on places like Pinterest or on blogs. It's all over the place, but basically it's typical household vinegar along with salt and a little bit of Dawn dish soap. That's going to be another one, and then I also have 30% vinegar, and then I'm also going to add just straight boiling water to another area, because a lot of people swear that boiling water is just a simple and natural way to kill weeds. So come along with us. I am going to get this all mapped out, and I'm going to let you know exactly which method works the best for getting rid of weeds. Section number 2 is 30% vinegar.
So come on, let's play.
All right, section number 3 is just plain boiling water. I don't have anything else mixed in here. It technically stopped boiling from in the house out here, but it is still really hot. All right, the last one is the flamethrower. So I've got my connector hooked up. I'm going to turn on the propane. Open that valve up a little bit. You can really smell it. Alright, so I've done 4 different methods here. I put in the vinegar solution of vinegar, salt, and dish soap. The next one has 30% vinegar, which is a whole lot stronger than the household stuff. Household vinegar is about 5%, so 30% is obviously much stronger concentration of acidity. The next one I just did boiling water on that square, and then the very last one was with a flamethrower. So I'm going to keep you updated, and we're going to just check this throughout the next 24 hours and see which one is doing the best job at tackling our weeds. Okay, so right over here in this square, this is the solution of vinegar, salt, and dish soap, and things are starting to die. If you come over next to that, this next one here is the 30% vinegar, and there's far more stuff dying off. Everything's really turning brown. I would say that that's almost completely dead already. Okay, so right over here, this is the third square, and this is the boiling water. And that's not really dying off at all. There are some spots that are looking a little more dead-ish, but there's still lots of green going on in this section. Okay, and then this is our fourth section, and this is where I used the flamethrower. Certain things are dying off so far. Some of these taller flowering things are dying, but the lower grass type things are still pretty green at this point. All right, this is the difference between the vinegar solution with the salt, and this is the 30% solution. Honestly, I think that they look really similar. It's been exactly 24 hours since I was out here and sprayed this last night, and I think that there is the same amount killed with the solution at a much less cost than there was over here with the 30%. So this 30% solution of vinegar is not a cheap solution. It's actually about $25 a gallon to pick it up locally. And this was just typical household vinegar that you can pick up for a few dollars. Mix that with a little bit of salt and some dish soap. So by far, this is the less expensive of the two, and I think that the results are almost identical. I'm actually surprised by that. I really thought that the 30% vinegar was going to be much more effective, and so I'm surprised myself that they look the same. I actually think that there is a couple spots here that maybe just didn't get hit, but they're still alive. Everything pretty much in that square with the vinegar solution is completely wiped out and gone. Okay, so right in front of me, this is the patch where I just did boiling hot water and poured that over the plants. And to be quite honest, there's very little that's actually dead in this area. It's mostly still green and growing. There's some stuff starting to die off, but really I don't think that this is that effective of a method. Definitely not in comparison to our other two squares. Okay, so this is our very last section. This is where I actually used the flame torch and burned all of the weeds. There's actually quite a bit dead here. There's still some things that are green, some of these hardier weeds, but all the grasses now have started dying off. They're turning brown. All of this stuff is pretty much dead. So I think that this is another really good alternative. You just hook it up to your propane and torch away. All right, so it's been 24 hours and these are the results. I am actually blown away by this. I really thought that the 30% vinegar was going to be the winner. At $25 a gallon, it really is quite costly, but I thought, you know, if it does the trick and it really takes care of things, it's probably worth it in certain situations if it's going to perform a lot better. But that just wasn't the case. The really probably most effective method at the best cost is to do the simple recipe of vinegar, salt, and a little bit of dish soap. Both of them really performed almost identically, and so I wouldn't spend the extra money to get that high-end vinegar. So I hope that this helped you out to make some decisions for your own property and tackling the weeds that you have to deal with. I know around here the rain has just made our weeds explode, and I feel so overwhelmed when I go outside and look at them. So I'm excited to get started. I'm gonna start spraying my weeds. I got a big backpack carrier and I'm ready to go because we have to do this on like industrial level because we have so many around here. So we're really glad that you were here. We're so glad to have you join us on our journey. We will see you next week for our next video. Thanks for joining us at This Ohio Farmhouse.